God, when I look in the mirror, I scarcely recognize who I've become. Countless times you saved me from myself. When I wrestled with you and believed I was stronger without you, you looked on me with mercy and lifted my load. You showed me what true strength was, then placed a royal robe upon me and called me a conqueror. Now, as one of your noble ones, I lead the earth in a procession of worship. As you kiss me, courage floods my being. So kiss me. Kiss the world with your redeeming love. Pull the lost out of the hiding so all the nations of the earth will sing your praise. Pour out your miracles and display your strength. Let the whole world see who you've called them to be. Bless Africa too, Lord. When she sees your majesty, she'll run to you with open arms. We are consumed with awe as your glory streams from heaven. As you soar upon the clouds of glory, we will sing your highest praise. For you are the answer to our every prayer. Amen. I have been dying to film this video, you guys. I've been wanting to do it outside, but the weather has been such up and down, rainy, snowy, dark, cloudy. I have not gotten the chance to do it. And today was just so perfect. It's Sunday. I went to church this morning and it was amazing. It was beautiful. Kind of cried a little bit because there's, a couple just, sharing their marriage story. Today's a beautiful day, and today's a beautiful day to film this video. I wanted to talk about my spiritual journey a little bit. It's so funny because as I've been on this spiritual journey, I didn't realize until later that there was a bunch of people that was being spiritually awakened, and there's so many people also on this journey and have been awakened. And then I also realized that it's also a huge trend. I didn't realize that uncovering your traumas and going through this emotional roller coaster and rediscovering who you are and unlearning and unreprogramming the conditions that we were conditioned to live was trendy. Spirituality to me means I'm a spirit having a human experience. Every single individual on this earth is not here just to exist. I don't care what nobody says, that this whole thing is not an illusion. We have a purpose to be here. Every individual on this earth has a purpose, has a gift. And then at the end of the day, it's really up to us to open our hearts, open our spirits to life, to world, to universe, to really tap into why we're here, what's your purpose, what's your gift, and be authentic and live a purposeful life. A little backstory on how I kind of got into my journey, right? I remember back in December 2020, I had joined a entrepreneurship business. And this one training that we were having, we were talking about mindset and just developing as a person. And I remember that one of the speakers were talking and they had brought up the word manifestation and talk about what you put out there will come back to you whenever. And I never heard of the word manifestation ever before. I was so intrigued by that word. I was like, what is that? I never heard of it. I never used it before. I was like, what is that? And so I remember going home that day. I went on YouTube and just coincidentally this video pops up, and it's this YouTuber I never heard of. I didn't know who she was. I'm subscribed to her today, but her name was Shanetta, Tarot, reading or something like that. And it was a video and it was called How I Manifested Using Scripting. And she held up a pen and a journal in her thumbnail. And so me, I like to write, I love to journal. So when I saw the pen, the journal, and the word manifest, I was like, I'm in there. So I remember watching that video and just pretty much then, that's almost my introductory into how this journey had started, right? I had did some more research, and I started to just realize just so much stuff the conditioning that society wants us to believe and to live by are really just suppressing the gifts that we're supposed to be expressing and like living through, like while we're here on this earth. I started to take on spiritual practices like meditation, yoga, shadow work, journaling. Not all at once though. Each practice was like in each like gradual over time kind of thing, with yoga being the most recent. We all know ourselves as human beings, like what we like to wear, what we like to eat, what we like to do, but I didn't know myself spiritually. Like, what is my energy love? What can I do to thrive, not only physically, but spiritually too? I've noticed in the spiritual community that there's a lot of people trying to convey the idea that they're this like really spiritual person based on the spiritual practices that they do alone. And I just said myself that I do take on spiritual practices, but I don't by any means don't think me meditating and laying with the moon makes me the most spiritual person, right? I do that because those spiritual practices allows my energy to be, it allows me to connect and to be. It's a guidance, really. You can be in tree pose on top of the mountain, indulging in the most healthiest food. If you believe in God or in a higher power and you're praying to whoever that it is and you're, speaking the word, but at your same time are not, acting in a way that's genuine. You're being bitter, you're like saying hate, you're being spiteful to others. You're not really truly embodying like what spirituality really is. All those practices just go out the window. It doesn't matter. It's void, really. I don't care if you're eating the most healthiest foods, making your food from scratch, meditating. If you're out here putting out somebody's insecurities, belittling somebody, trying to make yourself seem like you're better than somebody else and whatever aspect that it is, you're not truly personifying the meaning of what spirituality really is. Spirituality is all about love, empathy, especially people that are closest to me, or even if you're not closest to me, it's just, I guess, people be watching you, right? And people can tell, when you're like different. And so, they would ask me like, how did I just become so spiritual? Like my energy seems so different. And my answer is, it's from doing inner work. It's from doing inner work and just being very intentional about my growth. If you were to ask me, how can you start your spiritual journey? I'm not going to tell you, you got to go purchase clean food. You got to shop here. You got to go pick up a yoga mat or journal and a pen. It's really all about just tapping into yourself, wanting to grow, being intentional, and discovering who this person is in here. You have to be open. You have to be open and just know that you're going to, unlearn the reconditioning, the programming that society wants you to be, wants you to believe, all the trauma that you've been through that shaped you to be the person that who you are today. All of that is going to be like stripped down, unlearned, so you can really tap into yourself and learn who your soul is, who your spirit is, your energy is. My cat's also joining me right now. He wanted to get some sunshine. He likes nature too. Spiritual practices like breath work, shadow work are really just like tools for guidance. And it looks different for a lot of people. For some people, it's eating clean, refraining from sex, doing shadow work, spending more time in the sun, being more creative. There's so many different tools that you can use and get grounded. And I wouldn't focus on being, how can I be more spiritual? Again, spirituality, it's all about love. It's all about empathy. Focus on, how can I be more loving? How can I respond with love? How can I give back more? How can I really and truly receive the love that's given to me? Pikachu's out here discovering the world. He's so happy. We are literally created by God, and God is all about love. So the next time that you're out in nature and you see a pine tree like I did the other day, just stop it and acknowledge it, observe it, feel it, smell it if you want to. Express love in any way that you can. Express love, express gratitude. When I get up, I'm like, oh, thank you, trees, for being you, for being the big, beautiful green tree that you are, that's giving me oxygen, that's giving me the wind that I need when it's hot. Like, thank you for just life, because everything around us really is beautiful, and without any of us here, how the heck would we survive? I put Pikachu back in the sunroom. He was wandering way too much, and me live around where there's foxes, so if he gets captured by a fox, I'd be devastated. But to be able to just hear, to touch, to feel, to smell, to taste, like, I don't know if you can hear the birds right now, but they are chirping. It's such a blessing, you know, being so present, especially when you're in the shower and that water is hitting your skin, when you're eating that grape, when you're with the people that you love and you're laughing. Everything is a blessing. It's a gift. Life isn't all sunshine and rainbows though, right? Like, there's also pain, and you gotta love pain as well, because, you know, pain is a part of the emotions that just come with life. Like, without pain, how can we really ever just learn and grow, right? Like, I'm sure when you're a little kid and you touch that hot stove and you were like, and it burned you, I bet you learned not to do that again, right? So pain is definitely something that we also have to learn to understand that it's just part of life. It's a necessity, and as much as we would want to live life without pain, honestly, like, where would any of us be, like, where we're at today? Like, a lot of us are the way that we are today because of pain, because of sadness. So we can't leave that out the picture. Some might say if spirituality really is all about love and empathy, then why take on the practices? Like, some might question, if they don't do those practices, does it make them less spiritual? No. Like I mentioned before, whether you do the spiritual practices or not, it doesn't make you any less or more spiritual than the next person. They are just tools, you know, to just guide you. They're a big stepping stone tool that I feel like is powerful to use just to get through those a little bit more faster. Hey guys, sorry, I'm in a different location because my phone died and my storage is also acting up, so I'm gonna make this really fast to end out this video. But the last thing I was talking about, you know, why I do spiritual practices, and as far as I know, this is the only one life that I'm experiencing at the moment, and I want my experience here on earth to be good. Okay, when I meditate, when I do yoga, I feel good, and you know, there is no person on this, you know, pyramid of spirituality that's on a higher pedestal than you are. There's no person that's up here and there's no person that's down here. And you know, don't ever you know, make someone else feel bad or downplay somebody's journey just because you might have more wisdom than they do, or don't, you know, try to be like so concerned that you're not spiritual enough because you don't have as much wisdom as that person, you know, does. Everyone is on their own journey, completely unique to them, and no matter where you are at in your journey, everyone deserves the love that we all deserve to get. Everyone deserves to be loved, everyone deserves to be celebrated, no matter where you are. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. And if you have, you know, started your spiritual journey this year, last year, or whenever it was, tell me about it. I want to know, how did it start for you? How's it going? Do you partake in any of the spiritual practices? What helps you? What doesn't help you? And yeah, like, I just really would like to know who else is on this, you know, journey as spirits experiencing the human life. So once again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Besos. Mwah.